Hello there, and welcome back to another Trailmakers video. And today, in this video, I'm going to be doing a relatively highly requested video, mostly by one person, who I see repeatedly in my comments. And I'm going to be attempting to make an odd width plane. I have built like one odd width plane in the past, and it didn't really go very well, so I'm going to be attempting to do it. And the plane I'm going to be building is the Hurricane, which has also been a relatively highly requested plane. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, but without further ado, let's begin. First I'm going to explain what I mean by an odd width plane. If you played Trailmakers a decent amount, you'll understand that it's something with a odd width, self-explanatory. So like this, the middle is one block, whereas a non-odd width plane or even width would have 2 block middle. The issue with building an odd width vehicle in Trailmakers is most of the blocks were designed for even width. The engines, pretty much everything actually. If you look, everything is based for even width. Apart from one seat, which is the motorcycle seat, because that's meant to be paired with motorcycle wheels, like this. So that's the seat we'll have to use, but the engine I would like to use is the large propeller. However, that is, as you can see, even width, which I'm trying to build an odd width plane. How am I going to use this and have it be odd width? I'm going to be using a little something I thought of whilst I was doing some testing of how legitimate I could, or how the legitimacy of using this engine with an odd width plane, and that's by using steering hinges one after the other to basically shimmy it ever so slightly to the side. I'll show you what I mean. If I build up the plane around this, so I want something like this, and then on the bottom as well. I'm building the nose. As you have seen from my other videos, starting with the nose usually is the best way to go. So something like this. And then if I use a let's use a speed sensor. Have it be trigger below, or trigger above 0. Yeah. Have it go into. Okay, that isn't technically part of the build yet. So if I then connect everything with a block. Nope. There we go. Now it should let me. Yes. These, and then if I remove their inputs and set the angle to 30. Let's try. Let's keep it on 30, but I'm not sure if that'll be exactly in the middle. And then let's just add the cockpit so we can actually place it into the game. As you can see, it turns to do it select everything. Yes. That way, and then that way. Just moved it to the wrong side, so we're going to want to rotate these around. There we go. As you can see, it's shifted it to the side ever so slightly. Obviously, we're going to want to remove the inputs, which I understand got reset when we added the seat. There we go. And we can move that one block inwards. I don't know why that's so shaky. When I was doing it earlier, it wasn't as shaky. So I learned whilst I was doing some testing that the angle needs to be around 32.5, give or take. It's just the angle I found that made it go into the middle the most. Looks like we're going to want to increase that. Is the strength is that? Let's do a hold position, hopefully that'll stop it from shaking. I think 30. How's that look? Yeah, that's better. And yeah. Oh, that's because it was because the speed sensor, right? Let's use a distance sensor then. And then we can have that facing outwards, so it's always triggered. There we go. That's better. See, now it's pretty much in the middle on an odd width plane. So now we can start building out the rest of the plane. Which mainly going to be using the rounded pieces. I forgot to say this already, but as always, you're going to want to have the reference image up when you're building a plane, or at least trying to build a replica of a plane. And let me just get my reference image. Perfect! And I apologise for any background noise you can hear. It's really hot in the UK right now, and so I've just got my fan on. Sorry if that makes it into the recording at all. I just prefer not to melt much. So, now we've got that, it's time to get to the cockpit. I feel like that's a bit too far. I feel like that is a good distance. That'll be fine. And we're gonna want the motorcycle seat like that, with the rounded blocks going past it. We're gonna want a 1x4 underneath, like that. There we go. And we can cover the sides with this is the issue with using an odd width like this is normally I just have full blocks covering it because the seat I'm using is thinner, but yeah, I'll need to use like shield pieces or something. That should work. May not look the most elegant, but it will do. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Back to the reference image. The actual cockpit itself. Looks like... maybe one of these? I don't want it to look too similar to the Spitfire I built, but again this will be odd width, so it won't look that much. So let's move the back so this random piece there. There we go, now it's fully complete. There we go, that's good. Let's... Okay. Let's try this plus a 2x1 with some blocks. Does that give the shape I want? We have to move this backwards. Yes, okay, perfect. And now we can have this go flush against that. And that's the distance. Let's just grab it from there, 1x2. There. Okay, how does that look now? Not too bad, not too bad. And now we can... The hitbox of the motorcycle seat is about as convenient as the other one. It's not the easiest to work with, so let's... So I want it to be... Well, I have an idea. We could do something I haven't done on this channel before, and I'll be using a piston glitch. Very simple, you just have a piston... No inputs, set to start position, and then whatever position you want the blocks above to be in. And now we can use these blocks however we want, without worrying about collision, because it'll be pushed in like that. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, let's try something like this for the shape that we want. Yeah, okay. Doesn't look too bad. I'm okay with that for now. And then we will... this means we can actually have full blocks there as well. The piston glitch can be quite useful for builds like this. So now it sits like that, and now we can... yeah, if you have this down like this, it's all flush like that. Perfect! Perfect. And now I want to continue building this outwards, so... this, and basically the same thing, but flipped on the other side. No, not that high, like that, with 1x4 pieces. Okay, that continues the plane backwards, but we want it to actually connect to the cockpit in some way, so we'll add this piece, 3x1, I think that should look good, to the cockpit like this, so it like adds something to it, it slips backwards more. What if we felt like adding this to there? That actually looks pretty decent, so now, yeah, I can see why the person suggesting this said you can add more detail. That looks pretty decent. Looks pretty decent. Yes, okay, now we're going to start working on the wings. If you've watched my other World War II fighters video, you saw that how I build the wings, so I just use the aerodynamic pieces. But this wing is fairly flat. Okay, so it starts quite far forward actually. Yeah, about there. And that's where I'll have the guns as well. How does that look? That looks a bit better, yeah. Okay. And then we'll add the the flap wings. And then okay. There we go. And now we'll duplicate this to the other side. How's this looking? I don't like how high up it is, so let's move. Yes, I think with my other builds it's actually one block down. So we'll have to change the shape of the bottom of the plane a little bit, but that's not too much of a big deal. There we go. And then 1x4. 2 1x4s to be precise. And another one here and here. Okay, how's that? That isn't too bad. I'm not too happy with the shape of the wings. They seem a bit big, because I'm not really used to building on this scale. It's slightly smaller than the other builds I've done. I think the cockpit needs to be moved forwards by a Yes, okay. Then we will add this. Move this back. Move these back. Yes, okay, and then add some 1x2s to cover that up. Which means the wings will need to be moved forwards as well. Compare it to the reference image. Let me just do this first. How's that? Yes. Yes, okay. That looks a bit better. However, this isn't... Yeah, I want that there. How did I hide the gap there before? Did I just have blocks here? I didn't think so, but oh well. Oh well. Yeah, okay. Right. As you can see here, I have finished filling in and duplicated it to the other side. And I'm also going to add the guns now, actually. That seems like a good idea. Put them there. Nope, that's everything. And then put them in the same place on the other side. Okay. Is that how it looks in the reference image? That is not. They're slightly further out, but I can't really do that. Oh well, we'll see if we can fix that later at all. Now time to start working on the rest of the plane, which will be done. Right, the tail of the tail. I think it's fairly flat along the bottom, only really raising up actually at the tail itself. So we should be able to do this and then have the tail come up. There. Is that too long or is that long enough? Reference. That should be fine. Okay, and then we will fill the rest of this in. Just like so. And use a 1x2 instead here because we haven't got enough room for a 1x4. Okay. Let's use that. How does that look? Like that. Maybe a little. No. Yeah. Okay. That might be a little bit too far back. So we will remove this. Have it slope up. Ooh, scroll past it. Right here. Okay. Now we will continue using the 1x2s. Actually, no, we have room to use 1x4s on that particular layer. These sides there. No, that's not where I wanted that at all. Right there. Perfect. And then there, but it has to be on the bottom where it's like that. Okay. Now the tail, which will be there, you will block this out slightly. The tail, for the scale of this particular aircraft, how does a aileron look? That might be too big. Okay. We'll use the small elevator form. The shape of the tail of the Hurricane is fairly curved. I wish I could do this but larger. That would be pretty much perfect. Okay, we'll have to build that using the wedge pieces, which is fine. So we'll do this. Might be a bit too big, but actually, if we do that, and then do a 4x1 on the back. How does that look in scale to the plate? Okay. Get rid of that, move that one down. How does that look? If we fill the rest of the tail fin, if I can. Oh, my cursor was stuck at the bottom. In like this. How does that look? And then the tail goes down there. We will have. Let's use blocks like this. And for extra structural stability. Okay, now onto the vertical stabilizers, which is the left, the piece that give left. It's fairly flat. 2x1. I've used this style before, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just have to use this element there. I will duplicate this fin to the side. I like the Hurricane so far. Let's see if it flies. Let's see if it flies now, or at least goes forward. Okay, it's actually going forward, so let's put it straight on the aircraft carrier and see if this thing flies. Before I take off, I'm just remembering I haven't added controls for the wing flaps. Hopefully that's correct, we can always change it. That looks correct to me. See if this thing flies. I know the propeller is slightly off to the right, and it's annoying me too, but there's not much we can really do. Okay, I've got the, I did it again, I got up and down round. Switch view there. I hope we've got enough lift to take off. That could be an issue. Okay, we are in the sky. Why is... Okay, so I did have the roll the wrong way around. Now everything should be working. It does look pretty good though. Okay, it's got enough lift. The wings do look a bit too far forward, but this is how they are on the reference image I'm using of the Hurricane. Do I have you all the correct way? I do. Perfect. Although you can't really tell. It does a decent amount. Does this thing glide? It glides. Not the... It doesn't glide that well, but it's enough. Let's add some more details and I'll paint it up and show you the finished product. Right, I have painted it up, as you can see. I have used a different camo colour than I used on the Spitfire. I've used tan instead of light green to make it distinguishable. So you can tell this is the Hurricane, the other one is the Spitfire, and this is the Showcase. So it looks alright. It was pretty difficult to get the scaling correct, but let's compare it to the Spitfire for a second. As you can see, the Spitfire is quite a bit bigger. This isn't supposed to be to scale, this is just me challenging myself to do a odd width, as someone in the comments suggested. I think it turned out okay. I would change the thing I would change would be to make this bigger, but I can't do it with the attachment points I have available for me. I'd also probably change the wing shape, so it doesn't look exactly right. But other than that, I think it looks okay. I just realised the actual pattern of the camouflage is pretty much identical apart from on the wing, the right wing here. That's interesting actually. Used the piston glitch to get the cockpit canopy on, and used some hinges to get the nose in line. Okay, it actually flies pretty well now. Doesn't have the most lift in the world, so it might not be the easiest to do specific maneuvers with. As you can see, I need to keep pitching up in order to keep steady, but it's not too bad. It's got the 4 guns. Oh, careful, careful, careful. And it looks alright. It's the Hurricane, another British plane. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like if you want. And maybe if you really enjoyed it, subscribe. I know, it's shocking. But I feel like you made it this far, you can take the step. You can subscribe. You can do it, I believe in you. And also, share it with your friends if you think they could learn anything from this video, or you just want to share it with them because you found it funny, or literally anything. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.